Hello everybody, my name is Griffin, talking to you guys from Rishi Outpost, and today we'll be diving into the continuity status of the Star Wars Expanded Universe from before 2014. In my adventures talking about Star Wars both on the internet and in real life, I find that there is a lot of confusion about the EU, now branded Legends by Lucasfilm, particularly regarding its continuity status. The goal of this video is to clear up the confusion and explain what the continuity status of the EU really was before 2014 and what it is now. As some of you may already know, the Expanded Universe was a collective label for all of the made-for-TV movies, TV shows, video games, novels, short stories, comic books, and reference material outside of George Lucas's 6 Star Wars films and the 2008 Clone Wars TV series. These works were officially licensed by Lucasfilm and stood in continuity with the movies and with each other from 1977 to 2014, when Lucasfilm rebooted the continuity. No, you did not mishear me. The Expanded Universe was a part of the continuity just like the films. They were not fan fiction, they were not a separate universe, they were a part of the official continuity established by Lucasfilm. Now, it's true that the movies in the Clone Wars were prioritized over the other material, which led to a continuity hierarchy, with G canon being Lucas's movies, T canon being the TV shows Lucas directly worked on, which ended up being just the Clone Wars, and C canon being everything else. This was done to ensure that if Lucas himself wanted to retcon something that had been done in the EU, he could do so. It was the universe that he had created, so it made sense that if he wanted to change something about it, he was not beholden to the stories that other people had told in his universe. Despite having the ability to override the EU, Lucas's work did so only very rarely. So even though Lucas could change something from the EU in his own work, the EU was still in canon with the movies and with itself. This was stated by many people who were deeply involved with the continuity of Star Wars at Lucasfilm, such as the Continuity Database Administrator at the time, Leland Chee, and Lucas Licensing Manager Sue Rostoni. Rostoni said in an article on StarWars.com in 2003, basically everything except those items marked with an infinity logo is considered canon, confirming that the different levels of canon did not mean there were multiple continuities. Leland Chee echoes this sentiment on the website again in 2004, saying, "There is one overall continuity." So despite how some have misinterpreted the situation, there was one continuity that included the movies, the Clone Wars, and the Expanded Universe. The idea that the EU was a parallel universe before 2014 was specifically shot down by Leland Chee in 2005 when he said, "The term parallel universe suggests that each universe can go in separate directions, which really isn't the case with the EU. The EU is bound by what is seen in the current version of the films and by directives from George Lucas." These statements from high-ranking employees at Lucasfilm, combined with the reality that the EU was trying to stay consistent with itself and the movies, should be enough to confirm in everyone's mind that it was canon prior to 2014, but the elephant in the room here is George Lucas. Lucas has a couple of pretty infamous statements saying that the EU was not a part of his universe. This, however, doesn't change the reality of the situation, which is that they in fact were a part of the official universe. And this is true for a couple of reasons. First of all, George Lucas is the creator of Star Wars and was the president of Lucasfilm, but his word was not law. While at times he stated that the EU was a separate universe, Lucasfilm never operated that way. Everyone who was working on a Star Wars project put effort into staying consistent with the movies and with the rest of the EU, and everyone at all levels of Lucasfilm consistently made sure that the EU didn't go against the movies or Lucas's vision. So what I'm saying is the words of Lucas don't negate how the company was actually operating. Secondly, Lucas has a tendency to change his mind, as everyone knows, and has at many times said the EU is, in fact, a part of his universe. In the foreword of the first ever EU novel, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, George Lucas himself wrote, "After Star Wars was released, it became apparent that my story, however many films it took to tell, was only one of thousands that could be told about the characters who inhabit its galaxy. But these were not stories I was destined to tell. Instead, they would spring from the imagination of other writers inspired by the glimpse of a galaxy that Star Wars provided. Today, it is an amazing, if unexpected legacy of Star Wars that so many gifted writers are contributing new stories to the saga." So right there, he basically says they are indeed a part of the universe in his mind. It is also worth noting that creators telling stories in the EU had to get approval from Lucas to do anything radically new, and he was personally involved with many of the projects in the EU, such as the Force Unleashed video game series and the new Jedi Order book series. So the idea that Lucas didn't care about the EU is clearly false, as he helped advise many of the projects that were part of it, and the idea that he never considered it canon is also not true, because there were points in time where he explicitly said it was. So despite the misconceptions that have been spread over the years, the situation with the EU before 2014 was very clear when you look at the macro picture. It was canon according to Lucasfilm. Then, in 2014, Lucasfilm announced a reboot of the continuity and rebranded the expanded universe as Legends. While some interpret this brand name to mean that the stories of the EU exist in the canon timeline as stories or in-universe tall tales of things that may or may not have happened, I don't think Lucasfilm intended for that to be the case, and I don't think that explanation makes sense. But as far as I'm aware, Lucasfilm has never said that that was the intention of the new name for the old EU. In any case, it's certainly not what the storytellers at the time intended, as they thought they were adding stories to the Star Wars universe, and they were, for all intents and purposes at the time. Despite the reboot, there have still been a few additions to the Legends continuity after 2014, such as expansions to the Old Republic and an additional issue of the original Marvel Star Wars comic series, though these additions have been few and far between. So right now, at Lucasfilm, the current canon is what is being focused on, while the Legends continuity is more or less on the back burner, but they each exist in their own separate universes. Well, that's all I have for you guys this time. Be sure to let us know in the comments if you enjoyed this video, and if you like or dislike the idea of our channel at times diving into explaining some different aspects of Star Wars, whether they be in-universe or real-world topics surrounding the franchise. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Star Wars videos. And as always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.